Yo guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with episode 42 of our Reddit series, and today I got some more entitled people for you. If you could like the video, that would be absolutely amazing, and if you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. So now, let's dive right in. Entitled Mom tried to steal my cat. My cat goes outside sometimes, and something that I disapprove of, but my mom has a habit of leaving doors open, so it happens. But she always comes back. However, the other week she did not come back, and I have had this cat since I was 5 or 6. I am 19 now and I have 2 other cats, but she is my cat. Like, she sleeps in bed with me, she follows me around the house, and she has some attitude issues and is not super friendly to other people and pretty much only likes me. And she's not really aggressive, just very shy and prefers to be left alone. So I was really upset when after a few days she hadn't come back. I went around the neighborhood with flyers with her picture and my phone number and address, asking if anyone had seen her and if they would call or text me if they did. My next door mom neighbor, when I asked her, said she hasn't seen her and would promise to bring her over if she saw her. I didn't think twice about it. A few days ago, my cat showed up again. I figured all was back to normal until yesterday when the aforementioned mom neighbor was at my door. She explained to me that she had actually found my cat outside before I even went to their house, but that her daughter had really wanted a cat for a while and she fell in love with it and really wanted to keep it. So she had forgotten to tell me when I went to their house. But after a week or so of having her, she, the EM, noticed that she, my cat, was not really friendly, so she had let her back outside because she did not want her around her daughter or whatever. But also that her daughter was really upset and missed the kitty and did not want another one because she wanted this one, so the EM asked if I would be so generous as to give her back my cat. Absolutely not. First, you tried to steal my cat, and then when you didn't want her anymore, you just kicked her outside like garbage and now you want her back? Effing no. So obvious I was like stunned that she would ask in the first place, so I kind of stuttered out, no, I'm sorry, but no, she's my cat. I have had her since I was a kid. She is my cat. And the mom was like,
well, you remember being a kid. It would mean so much to my daughter. It would be the mature thing to do.
It would be the mature thing to do? What? I just said, sorry, please leave me alone, and closed the door in her face. I heard her call me a bitch through the door, and she said she would be talking to my mom, not sure if that was supposed to be a threat of some sort, or if she thinks she can play the guilt-tripping game on a fellow mom or something. Either way, I'm not worried, to be honest. I told my mom about it so that she would be extra careful to not leave the doors open, since the crazy mom neighbor lady wants to reclaim the cat she tried to steal once already. I'm just really taken aback that EMs actually have this kind of audacity and entitlement to think that it's okay to take someone else's pet because their kid wants it. Ripestars, remember, always put a microchip in your cat so Karens and other entitled moms cannot steal them. By the way, quick side note, who else here is a cat owner? Feel free to post a picture in the comments and also tell us what race she is. EMs demanding seats from young people? Long-time lurker, first-time poster. I study in another city than where I live, so I take the train every day. A few months ago, I was on my way home from a pretty stressful college day and my last class ended at the same time when rush hour started. Of course, a few minutes later when the train departed, a big-ass bellied soon-to-be EM walks in and demands my seat. I kindly told her that I have scoliosis, a back condition for those who don't know. My spine is basically misshapen. And my back was aching terribly that day, so I asked her if there was possibly another person that could offer their seat to her. I immediately saw she was offended, and of course people started interfering with the situation. Someone literally told me that I'm still young, so therefore I cannot have back issues and I should give her my seat. I overheard people talking to each other about how disrespectful I was. I have a disability that limits me every day. Sometimes my back hurts so much I can barely get out of bed, and my girlfriend has to skip classes to take care of me. I was born with this disability while this woman chose to get pregnant. And of course, she had no way of knowing about my scoliosis, so that isn't even the part that got me pissed off. What got me really angry is that despite me explaining my disability to her, people still called me disrespectful and still demanded me to give up my seat. No, just no. In the end, I gave up my seat because they threatened to get the train manager, and I really didn't want to be bothered with that after a long day. I'm curious if some of you have experienced something similar. And let me guess, most of those white knight people that interfered were probably perfectly capable of standing by themselves and actually giving their own seat to the EM. Some people, honestly, they just want to point fingers at someone else. I refuse to justify why my cat means more to me than your kid does. The scene is the following. A large extended family gathering with some of our more annoying relatives. My favorite cousin and I were sitting on a sofa, and I was lamenting the fact that my poor kitty has hyperthyroidism. Another distant cousin, let's call her EM, joins us. The EM has a couple of kids, I think 3, and one of them has developmental issues for which she has set up a GoFundMe page. Me, my poor kitty, glad I caught her weight loss pretty early on. And the vet diagnosed her quickly. Cousin,
Whoa, that sucks. What are the treatments?
well, most people do either surgery or pills because it's the cheapest treatment. However, I did some research and found the most effective treatment by far is radiation therapy. It has the least side effects for the cat and it's a one-time thing. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but Kitty is worth it. She is on meds for about 2 months until she gains a bit more weight and then it's off to the vet. EM,
How much is an arm and a leg?
me, all the tests and meds are going to be about $1,500. The radiation therapy and post-OP may cost from around $3,000 to $4,000.
What? If you're going to spend $5,500 on a worthless cat, why don't you help your nephew? I put up a GoFundMe page, you know? We really need help getting him.
Something special school, special teachers, aides, was not really listening, too busy being annoyed that my cat was called worthless.
I noticed you haven't donated a thing. I know you and your husband can afford it.
Me shrugging. People spend money based on what matters to them. My cat matters to me and I think she's worth the money. The EM, now looking extremely outraged.
My son isn't worth it donating to? Do you mean to tell me an animal matters more to you than my son?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
How dare you? I'm going to tell your mother about this.
Me, go right ahead. The EM stalks off red-faced. My mom then lectured me afterwards about being more sensitive. Perhaps I could have been a tad more sensitive, but hey, she called my cat worthless. Why do I have to tiptoe around her feelings? Also, I refuse to be one of those people who gets shamed/strong-armed into doing the right thing. Both the EM and her husband, both of whom were struggling financially even before the nephew came along, were irresponsible for having a third child. I am not going to make that my problem. And now a little bonus from the comment section. Posted by Single Pastry Chef Life. I had a similar conversation when I got my cat. He was a rescue and I paid money to get him dewormed, vaccinated, chipped and get him a passport. Came to about $250. A newly pregnant coworker heard me discussing it and got mad at me for not donating that money to a worthier cause. Her embryo. Makes sense, get pregnant and be entitled to someone else's money. My entitled mother strikes again. My mother tried her hardest to make my wedding about her, but at the time I was just happy that everything went well on my wedding day at the end, so I did not say a word. A few months after the wedding, she called me, crying, asking if she can come over. It was around 9 PM and I said yes. She came to me crying about her boyfriend for whom she threatened that she won't come to my wedding. She came with luggage and wanted to move in temporarily. That's when I said no. I know her too well for this. She would send my husband and me to bed every night at 9 PM sharp because she needs to sleep. We live in a small 1-bedroom apartment around 80 square meter, so she would be sleeping in the living room. And we won't be able to play on our PS4 while she was here, and she would criticize everything in my kitchen and make ugly faces to the foods we eat. So obviously, just No. After this, we had an argument about all those things and about the thing that happened prior to my wedding, and I kicked her out. And here I thought this was the end of the story. I felt relieved. But then she called me again a week ago, and I was really suspicious about it, but she just went on like nothing happened. No questions about me, as usual, just ranted about how stupid her coworkers are, and basically everyone is so stupid. She told me that she is sick and that her hand hurts and that she's on sick leave from work. I did not say too much, just the polite stuff you say to a person to whom you don't want to talk to but don't want to be rude either. I finished the call with an excuse that I need to get back to work, wished her to get well, and hung up. She called me again a few days later that she's in the city and she wants to take me out for lunch. I politely refused. I said I appreciate it, but I have a lot of work to finish up. She sounded angry when we hung up, so I was already nervous when will the bombshell come. A few days passed and nothing happened, and I started forgetting about it. And then, like she has a seventh sense to time, her calls when I let my guard down. I was feeling a bit sick, so I took a nap and my phone was silenced. As soon as I woke up, I saw that she called, so I called her back. As soon as she picked up, I heard it in her voice. Just thought for myself, here we go again, and went out for a cigarette while she started screaming to the phone. Mother,
I don't need anything from you anymore. I already called your husband. You don't have to help me.
Noted that the only thing she said to me to the phone before this was hi. Me, slow down and please stop screaming. I don't even know what you are talking about.
I needed help. I needed money, but your husband already told me that you don't have any.
Well, I guess I'm sorry, I think. Yeah, we are having some hard months lately. You know, if I could, I would help you.
You don't even call me anymore. When I die, who will you call then? I would give anything to be able to call my mother again, but I cannot, because she died.
Still screaming. At this point, I stay silent because I don't want to bring up our previous fight and I cannot make up anything why beside that argument I have not called her.
You didn't even come to her funeral, of your own grandmother. You won't come to mine either?
You know why I didn't go.
I never got to see her after I got married to your father and moved so far away with him, and I wasn't able to go to see her because of you.
You know I always supported you when you said you want to go see her. Mother.
You were little, you needed care.
I was 21 and already moved out when my grandma died. She was just too afraid to travel alone. Mother.
And why don't you go to work? Then you won't have any troubles.
I work. I wasn't asking for help. Mother.
That's not a real job. You sit all day at home in front of the computer.
Me. I'm doing translations from home. Well, I get paid nicely. This is my job, to sit in front of the computer.
You never help me, you never call me.
Me. I helped you with your divorce and I helped you to get out of my father's debts. You could come to me when your boyfriend, for whom you wanted to miss the wedding of your only daughter, kicked you out.
You're starting again with that stupid wedding of yours. You're always accusing me. I went with you to buy that stupid dress. I just didn't go into the shop because I had no money to do my passport.
More about this in my previous story. I paid $85 for your hair for the wedding. I paid another $40 for your makeup. I offered to buy you a dress. You should have asked for those $20 for the passport. You know, I would even go with you to the police station to get it.
Yes, of course. You need to rub in how much you paid for me. I paid my whole life to raise you.
Which is not entirely true, and until I was around 13 or 14, my father paid for most of the things. And with this, she hung up on me and now we are here. I don't want her in my life. She's a toxic, entitled, narcissistic person, and at this point, I don't know how to cut her off. I gotta say, this is some heavy stuff. By the way, Ripe Stars, what is your job? Any one of you also working at home from the computer? If you want, tell us in the comments what you do for a living, I would be curious. EM leaves us a surprise at a restaurant and she gets the real surprise in the end. On mobile, writing this at 4 AM because why not? I cannot sleep and I love Reddit more than socializing with humans. On to the story. Crucify me for spelling errors, please and thank you. My family and I are quite large. We are a family of 6, we are loud and very noticeable. The cast is my dad, the literal definition of Batman, the EM, spawn point for hatred, the EK, entitled kid, and the manager, EM's biggest rival. So we were eating dinner at some restaurant that will be unnamed for this little gem. The food was awesome though. The waiter walks out shaking and hands my dad the bill. It was outrageous, like $150 to $200. He looked at the waiter and asked nicely to talk to someone. They go into another room and apparently to oversee everything we did and didn't get. Annoying, right? My dad comes out and pays like the $90 bill and we get up to leave. The EM stands up, walks over to my dad and says,
"Thanks for dinner."
"What the hell? I didn't buy you dinner."
"Well, we told the waiter you would be paying, so thank you for paying us."
"I see. We told them we were not paying for you. Good luck." EM,
"Well, I left my wallet."
"Not my problem. Now excuse me, I will be leaving now."
"Why can't you just pay? You inconsiderate a-hole."
EK, "Mommy, can we go home now?"
"Of course, sweetie, right after he pays."
I would have paid had you asked me nicely, rather than trying to slip your bill in with ours without telling us.
"Can somebody get me the manager?"
"Mommy, I want to go home."
EM, now glaring at my super dad.
"Look what you did. You made him upset. I will sue you for this if you don't pay for us right now."
"Sue me, I have friends," my dad said. Manager, "What's wrong?" My dad says, "She set her bill in with ours, expecting us to pay for her, but we did not. She's mad and we want to leave." "I'm so sorry. Here, come with me." My dad and the manager disappear to the back room and come out a minute later. My dad is smiling ear to ear and says, "Alright kiddos, let's hit the road." Manager, "EM, you're banned from my restaurant for disturbing the peace as well as committing fraud. You have 10 minutes to call who you need to pay for you and this gentleman's family and then leave. I'm calling security after that." EM, sheepishly,
"Can I borrow your phone?"
We ended up leaving after that, and aside from the whole parent fiasco, the food was awesome, the staff was awesome, nice cozy restaurant as well. We will be going back there. Also, I doubt she will sue. So basically the EM means I'm gonna sue you if you're not letting us steal from you. Alright guys, that's it for today. As I mentioned before, the summer started in Germany, and due to my microphone kinda being very sensitive, I always have to close all windows and all doors, so you can imagine it's getting pretty hot in my room. But obviously I'm not complaining. I thank you very much for watching all my videos and the amazing support lately and usually. And I hope to see you again tomorrow for another episode of r/, what actually? I might post some r/I don't work here lady tomorrow to mix things up a little bit. Alright, see you tomorrow.